Welcome to Wonder Woman Wednesday. I'm Jared, and today we are comparing Wonder Woman to Blonde Blazer from Dispatch. So here's the thing. I'm a huge Dispatch fan and I'm on Team Blonde Blazer. So I wanted to do this episode because they're very similar in terms of characterizations. And so what I'm going to start with is actually the biggest the comparison between the two. And it is the fact that they both struggle with their identity of who they are as people versus superheroes. Because as you guys know, in Justice League 12 in the new 52 reboot, Wonder Woman was basically lamenting that she can't feel close to anyone being who she is. Like, she doesn't know how to be close to anyone. Blonde Blazer, on the other hand, wants to be seen as other than the superhero. She wants to be seen as Mandy. So it's like there's that identity crisis, for lack of a better term, and pun very much intended, actually works really well for comparing these two characters. Because of course, when you have a character that's of that stature, because Blonde Blazer is like the regional manager, if you will, of her branch, and she is, for the most part, the leader of their group. I mean, I know Robert technically is, but you guys know what I'm saying there. So it's like they both struggle with that. Second off, they're both leaders, so they both understand that burden of command and the responsibility that comes with being an inspiration, being the example for the other characters. I mean, even when you're playing Dispatch and the Dispatch portions, there are certain parts where you can send some of your characters to be trained by Blazer. So she does a lot with developing the heroes. Next up, they're genuinely good people. I remember when the other half of when the Invisigal fan base was trying to go oh, she's definitely evil. No one's this good. She has blue eyes, blonde hair. But I'm like, or maybe she's just genuinely good. But this is with in a more idealized version of superheroes. Because if this was The Boys, I could believe that. But it's because it's in Invincible in this, it doesn't make sense to not have at least some characters that are genuinely good people. And obviously Wonder Woman is arguably one of the most righteous DC characters, the most, if you take my opinion on that. It is kind of funny where you have certain fans that thought that she was bad because of who she is, what she looks like and such. And you kind of have that same, I guess, character assassination perception that Wonder Woman has, because anyone that doesn't know who Wonder Woman is automatically thinks she's a warlike woman because she's an Amazon and such. And Blonde Blazer was seen as oh, she's definitely a villain because of oh, she's definitely Shroud's daughter and such. And I go, okay, how? Tell me how. And they're like, well, she's too good. And I go, that doesn't work. I mean, it's one thing to have a fan theory, but at least have some okay, I'm going to say it. At least have some logic to it. But that's where I'm going to leave it. And then they're badasses. I'm sorry. The best scene for Blonde Blazer is when she shows up in the middle of that bar to save Robert. And she's like, you know what? It's I could see I'm outnumbered. Sure, you'll probably overwhelm me, but I'll at least take most of you out. So all of you can either leave or half of you are going to die. So I'm like, yes. And Wonder Woman is the type of character that would have those moments if she's in a fight. I don't want to make you guys think that I think she's a warlike person that's bloodthirsty. No, but it's if she's in that scenario where a fight's going to happen, she's gonna have those snarky lines, which I love very much. And I gotta be honest, that line where she's okay, either all of you leave or half of you leave. Either option's fine with me. That's a Wonder Woman line I can kind of see them doing. So Ad Hoc, great job actually writing Wonder Woman. Wow. But yeah, so those are my reasons why I think that Blonde Blazer is the Wonder Woman of Dispatch. They're both fantastic characters. Blazer is honestly one of the most compelling characters in Dispatch because of her arc. And particularly if you romance her, as she becomes more confident in who she is as Mandy, to the point where she's fighting alongside you when she gives her amulet to Chase. And that was always one of the best parts of the game. But that's where I'm going to leave it. What other Dispatch characters do you guys think is analogous to the DC characters? And again, the punch up doing the Henry Cavill arm reloads doesn't count. But that's where I'm going to leave it. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to play the trailer for my comic Athena, the Goddess of Thunder. The link to back it on Kickstarter will be in the description below.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sintragar, Athena, the Goddess of Thunder, and this is my story.
So stay heroic, everyone. And in terms of like what you can expect from me, in terms of more Wonder Woman content, it's this week, this weekend, which would be Saturday at 9 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We normally vacillate between the two. Britt and I are going to be discussing the comparisons between Superman and Wonder Woman and Doctor Strange and Clea. So that's the first example there. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be civil in the comments, please. I will see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.